নমস্কার, ডিএসটিভির অন্তরঙ্গ অনুষ্ঠানে আপনারা স্বাগত। আপনারা সকলেই জানেন, শিক্ষা, শিল্প, সাহিত্য, সংস্কৃতি, খেলাধুলা এইসব ক্ষেত্রে যারা নিজেদের প্রতিভা এবং দক্ষতার পরিচয় রাখে তাদের সঙ্গে আলাপচারিতার অনুষ্ঠান অন্তরঙ্গ। আজকে আমাদের স্টুডিওতে আমাদের সঙ্গে আমরা পেয়েছি দেবব্রতকে। দেবব্রত বরাবরই একটা ভালো একাডেমিক রেজাল্ট করে এসেছে তার শিক্ষা জীবনে, এবং এখন আজকে তাকে যে মুহূর্তে আমরা স্টুডিওতে পেয়েছি আরও একটি কৃতিত্বের অধিকারী হয়েছে সে। আমেরিকার উইসকনসিন ম্যাডিসন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পিএইচডি করার সুযোগ পেয়েছে, এবং পশ্চিমবঙ্গ থেকে একমাত্র দেবব্রতই এই কৃতিত্বের অধিকারী হয়েছে। এবং আমেরিকায় এই যে তার পিএইচডি পড়াশুনো, সেই সম্পূর্ণটি কিন্তু ফুল স্কলারশিপের ওপরে নির্ভর করে আছে। তো স্বভাবতই দেবব্রতর কৃতিত্বে আমরাও খুশি। দেবব্রত আঢ্য, প্রসঙ্গত আপনাদের জানিয়ে দিই, দেবব্রতের বাবা মেঘনাথ আঢ্য আমাদের ডিএসপির নগর প্রশাসন বিভাগে কর্মরত, এবং সেই অর্থে সেইল পরিবারের সদস্য। সেইল পরিবারের একজন সদস্যের এই ধরনের কৃতিত্বে আমরাও ডিএসটিভির সকলে অত্যন্ত গর্বিত। দেবব্রত, তোমাকে প্রথমেই আজকের অন্তরঙ্গ অনুষ্ঠানে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। তারপরে আমি জানতে চাইব যে তোমার এই যে একাডেমিক ক্যারিয়ার, তুমি এনআইটি দুর্গাপুর থেকে মেকানিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং পাস আউট, গ্র্যাজুয়েট। তো এই যে তোমার কেরিয়ার এবং এখানে আসার জন্য যে তোমার ব্যাপারটা, সেই ব্যাপারে একটু আমাদের দর্শকদের জানাও।
Okay. Um, I did my graduation from National Institute of Technology, Durgapur, formerly known as REC Durgapur. আপনারা সবাই জানেন REC Durgapur বিখ্যাত একটি প্রতিষ্ঠান, এবং অনেক বছর ধরে we have seen great students emerging out of this college. So I did my graduation in 2017, June 2017 in mechanical engineering. তারপর আমি ডিসাইড করলাম যে I want to continue with my studies further, and I would like to explore new options in research, especially abroad. So I started applying, and then after taking a lot of examinations and after a lot of procedure, I finally got myself admitted into the STEM discipline. তো আপনাদের জানিয়ে রাখি, STEM discipline in the United States, এর ফুল ফর্ম হলো সায়েন্স, টেকনোলজি, ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং অ্যান্ড ম্যাথমেটিক্স। এই চারটে বিভাগে বাইরের অনেক ইউনিভার্সিটিজ অ্যাডমিশনস দেয় এবং অ্যাডমিটস দেয় বিভিন্ন প্রোগ্রামসে, লাইক পিএইচডি, মাস্টার্স, MBA. So these four disciplines are the broad categories in which universities provide admissions and provide scholarships. So University of Wisconsin at Madison, spring semester, which is the semester begins in January, সেই সেমিস্টারে আমাকে admission দিয়েছে with full scholarship. এবার this process isn't very easy. Like from India, there are a lot of students who are applying abroad, and there are a lot of students who want to pursue further research with scholarships. So the competition is very intense, very difficult. So in this interview, I'll probably explain you how admits are given, how you can get a scholarship, and how you should design your career if you are aiming for research or if you're aiming for an industrial experience.
আচ্ছা দেবব্রত, আমি তোমার কাছে জানতে চাইবো যেটা, যে ধরো ইন্ডিয়া হোক বা অ্যাব্রডে হোক, কোনো রেপিউটেড ইউনিভার্সিটিতে যদি পিএইচডির ব্যাপারটা নিয়ে এগোতে হয়, তাহলে কি কোয়ালিফিকেশন দরকার? একটা কোয়ালিফাইড স্টুডেন্ট অ্যাপ্লিকেশন করবে, কি কি ক্যাটাগরি আছে, কি কি ক্রাইটেরিয়া সেখানে রয়েছে?
There are a lot of disciplines. Like একটি ডিসিপ্লিন নিয়ে আমরা কথা বলছি না, এখানে আমরা বিভিন্ন রকম ডিসিপ্লিন নিয়ে কথা বলছি। এবং আমি as I mentioned কি STEM, সায়েন্স, টেকনোলজি, ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এন্ড ম্যাথমেটিক্স, এছাড়াও আরও অনেক ডিসিপ্লিনে অ্যাডমিটস দেওয়া হয় এবং স্কলারশিপস দেওয়া হয়।
আচ্ছা,
বাট মোর
তুমি এর যে প্রস্তুতিটা, সেটা কখন থেকে শুরু করেছিলে?
I started this preparation from July 2015, if I'm not wrong, when I was in my second year.
তোমার সেকেন্ড ইয়ার থেকে তুমি এর প্রিপারেশন শুরু করে ফেলেছো?
I started this preparation with full effort, and like it needed a lot of time, you know. So out of my course syllabus, I had to devote an extra time to this.
Right.
As well. So as you said, qualifications, right? So if I mention about qualifications, the minimum degree that you should have is a bachelor's. Bachelor's আপনার থাকা প্রয়োজন, এবং if you have a master's degree, that helps. But it is not an essential ingredient that you should have, because there are a lot of other factors like taking an examinations, getting letters of recommendation. You have to prepare something which is relevant to your research experience, and most importantly, you should be able to convince admission officers that you are well equipped with your skills so that you can perform well at their
So
university
self
as well.
confidence is
Absolutely. You need to gain self-confidence. You need to present yourself that in your application form that reflects your academic expertise.
আচ্ছা, এমন কোনো ঘটনা তোমার মনে পড়ছে, কোনো ইনস্ট্যান্স রয়েছে যেটা তোমাকে এর জন্য মোটিভেট করেছিল?
Okay, so let me give you a brief history for that. When I was in class 12, I appeared for a lot of physics Olympiads, and I am a physics enthusiast. I have a great interest in physics. So I used to follow blogs, and these days you can see that YouTube e onek videos ache, onek channels ache, which provides a lot of insights and tutorials and introductions of several facets of physics. So when I was preparing for this physics Olympiad, I came across a blog which was from a reputed American university, and that professor used to update that blog every week. So this gave me a lot of motivation behind studying physics more. So when I was in second year, I was preparing for a physics examination, and I decided to approach this professor. So I shoot him an email saying that, sir, I'm a great follower of your blog. Could you please give me some insights on how I can proceed with my physics
Right.
thing? Because this is probably one alternative in which I can continue with my research further. Because as you know, physics has a lot of opportunities in the United States. Because every university that you go has a major department which relates to physics and interdisciplinary subjects which relates to physics as well. So this professor was generous enough to reply me back saying that, would you like to work with me? And this was like one of a
Right.
dream come
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he said that if you want to work with me, we can probably do a project together, but you need to do it from your home university. So I said, great, that will be brilliant. So let me mention this professor. He's Dr. Bradley James Roth from Oakland University, which is a public university in the state of Michigan in the United States. So I was working with them for over 1.5 years. So I would say that this is a major breakthrough. After that, a lot of events came, but major breakthrough jake bole,
একদম।
this is the one. So yeah.
সো হু আর দ্য পিপল বিহাইন্ড দিস সাকসেস? কারা কারা সেই মানুষ যারা তোমার এই সাফল্যের পিছনে রয়েছেন?
This research experience, if I begin with, should start from my physics teacher, Mr. Shupriya Ghosh, who taught me and who encouraged me, which is very important, who encouraged me to pursue a career in research. Because see, I just wanted to make sure that I do not fall out of anything which makes me short of knowing a particular subject. Because the need for knowing a subject is always more when you start knowing more about it.
Right.
Keep knowing, and the more you know that you don't know. So he was the first one to introduce me to the subject. Then I met a person, Mr. Samudranil Chatterjee, who is an educator and mentor at an institute called Elucidate. So he taught me how to converse, how to have a conversation with professors and faculties abroad, so that you can get along with them. So grooming,
Yeah.
that's a very fundamental part before you actually went out or you actually set out a venture for these sort of activities. So, and then I mentioned about Dr. Roth. Like I published a paper with Dr. Roth, which is currently in London right now. So it's a publication right now in London. So, and then I would like to mention Dr. Lisbeth Jeris, who was my summer internship professor. And so I actually went to a summer internship in Belgium previous year, and that was funded by the Erasmus Scholarship Program. And Erasmus, as you know, is an European scholarship program. So I was funded by them and a lot of other agencies to for the internship. So she motivated me a lot in pursuing higher studies, and more specifically on the department that I am focusing on. So when I started my research, it was about biophysics. So let me give you a brief introduction. Biophysics usually treats the human body as a machine and treats individual cells as a machine model. So you can usually visualize this thing from the perspective of physics. And then I continued my career in 3D bioprinting, and then, so yeah, these were the people. And then, of course, I would like to mention my final year project guide, Dr. MC Majumdar, who is currently distinguished faculty at our college. So
Right.
these people, and of course my parents, they are always supporting me for my work.
এই যে তুমি এই জার্নিটা নিশ্চয়ই খুব একটা সুখের ছিল না, দেয়ার আর মেনি হার্ডলস।
Absolutely.
কি তুমি মোটামুটি ফেস করেছো?
The first challenge that I had to face was preparing a CV, to be very honest. A CV usually reflects everything that you have done in your entire 22 years and consolidate within 2 pages.
Right.
The most important and most fundamental part of a CV is to convince your hirer or the employer, whoever you're sending your CV to, and making him understand that, hey, I have done this work, and I'm making sure that this is exactly the qualities and qualifications and
right.
expertise and acumen that you need. Now, let me just be very honest with this thing. Universities in the US are the best, and doing research here and doing it from home and making sure that it is good enough to convince them is a little difficult, is definitely difficult. You need to be sure and assured of the fact that whatever you're doing is definitely a bit larger than life. Because if you do the same thing as other people are doing, probably you will end up being in the waiting list. So you definitely don't want to be that. So the first challenge which I had to face was preparing a convincing CV. Now for making a CV, it turns out to be the joke like which came first, the chicken or the egg. So you need to have an experience.
Yeah.
You need to have an experience. So the gaining the experience was a fundamental issue. So how did I gain experience? I contacted people, I contacted professors, supervisors, faculty, entrepreneurs, and asked them what exactly could my profile fit in. তাদেরকে জিজ্ঞেস করার পর they gave me a lot of insights that, see, if this is the thing that you're doing, this can probably be your outcome. Now, it's important for a student of, maybe for a third year or a fourth year, to make an informed and wise decision whether he wants to go to the industry or whether he wants to go to academia.
Right.
It's very important. Now, your CV needs to be highly focused on this particular aspect. The second thing is a cover letter or a statement of purpose. Why? So let me tell you a short thing. In the US, whenever an entrepreneur starts a new thing, usually the investors ask, what is your product? Why do I want to invest money in you? So he needs to convince these investors that, look, this is my model. This is probably something which is going to give you returns 20 years down the line, which is probably going to give you more results, benefits, and can probably increase your curve growth. So that's why I'll probably be a best fit to your company.
Right.
So this is what motivates me. You need to present something which is probably ahead in the race of some people, and that can probably convince other people to give you more funding. This is the second step. Third step, you need to take examinations, standardized examinations, which is recognized by every university in the world. So let me introduce 3-4 examinations. The first is GRE, which is the Graduate Record Examinations. এবং এই এক্সামটি ভারতবর্ষের বিভিন্ন জায়গায় কন্ডাক্ট করা হয়। এই এক্সামটির মাধ্যম দিয়ে আপনি ইউনিভার্সিটি ডিপার্টমেন্টে অ্যাপ্লাই করলে তারা আপনার স্কিলস এবং তারা আপনার কোয়ালিটিস, এক্সপার্টিস ডেফিনেটলি জাজ করতে পারে। But this is not the only factor. You also have something which is called the TOEFL, Test of English as a Foreign Language. এক্সামটিও বিভিন্ন জায়গায় কন্ডাক্ট করা হয় এবং this is the vital aspect of getting a visa. So TOEFL gets you a visa. TOEFL is a fundamental criterion that lets you to assess your English speaking abilities and English writing abilities as well. There are other exams like GMAT and IELTS, but the main objective is that they are convinced that your qualitative, quantitative, English, verbal, and essay writing skills are up to the mark. That can probably fit their description. This is like the third and fourth point. And the final point is recommendation letters. Recommendation letters are extremely important in getting you an admit. The reason being that, suppose I'm a student and I don't have absolute authority in convincing these people that, look, I'm the best. I can't do that.
Yes.
These people have significant authority in convincing them. So basically they are playing on your behalf, and they let you put you ahead in the race, and they put you, up front in the race. So basically when this application file goes to the admissions officer, the first thing that they'll see will be a recommendation letter, and that recommendation letter will probably say that yes, this person can probably do well, and this person can probably give you more returns 4 years or 5 years down the line.
মানে অনেকগুলো ফিল্টার্স আছে,
Yeah,
সেই
there are a lot of
ফিল্টার্স এর মধ্যে দিয়ে তোমাকে যেতে হচ্ছে, একদম স্ক্রিনিং করে নিচ্ছে পুরো তোমার ক্যাপাবিলিটিস,
Every aspect of life is tested.
Yeah.
For India, I'm just saying few examinations which is conducted in India. Let's say we have an examination which is called the joint entrance examination. That's completely a technical examination, and only depends on how good you are at physics, chemistry, and maths. That's it. You're not judged on how you look, how you talk, how you speak, how you
Yes.
present yourself in a tense situation, how you present yourself in probably the death overs of your life.
Right.
That's the thing. That's how they get the best out of every country that's applying to them.
এবার ধরো তুমি মেকানিক্যাল ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিংয়ে গ্র্যাজুয়েট, তুমি একটা খুব ভালো চাকরি পেতে পারতে,
Right.
সেটা না করে তুমি এটা অপ্ট করেছো। এর অ্যাডভান্টেজেস কি আছে, ডিসঅ্যাডভান্টেজেস কি আছে?
Okay. This is a this is a descriptive question actually. Okay, let me talk about a job. I could have got a job. I could have applied for a job, but I decided not to do that. Primary reasons being that
মানে আমি তোমাকে যেটা বোঝাতে চাইছি সেটা হচ্ছে ইমিডিয়েট ক্যারিয়ার গোল বলতে আমরা বুঝি আমি একটা একাডেমিক ডিগ্রি নিলাম, তারপরে জবে চলে গেলাম।
absolutely.
এটাই কিন্তু এখনকার এডুকেশন সিস্টেমের মধ্যে রয়েছে ম্যাক্সিমাম স্টুডেন্টসদের।
Right.
সেখানে তুমি এইটা যে অপ্ট করেছো, তো তোমার কি কিছু মনে হয়েছিল যে অ্যাডভান্টেজেস অ্যান্ড ডিসঅ্যাডভান্টেজেস জাস্ট
Right. Okay. See, a job guarantees you a fixed position, a secure position. You are directly transported from a bachelor's degree to a comfort zone.
ইয়া
To a comfort zone. You don't need to worry about studying further, preparing for exams, knowing more about a particular subject. So basically, if you're into a core job, you're assured that whatever you have learned in your bachelor's, it's furnished a bit, and you can work there and you can be settled for the rest of your life. However, since I had already planned like from second and third year onwards, and of course I've been inspired from my seniors as well, that in order to do something, in order to increase your domains and your limits, and in order to know more about this particular paradigm which you're working in, this need, which is which is, I would say, a bit, let's say, a bit larger than life. Why?
Right.
Why? That's because you need to work for 4-5 more years. You need to do a postdoctorate if you have to. If you have to, you never know. But then you are assured that these 4-5 years you are investing in whatever you have learned. That should motivate you, and then you can probably, I should also mention this, that a PhD program is usually full funded. That's something people don't know. So usually a PhD program is full funded. So you can be assured that you are getting your salary as well, and and of course you are continuing with your studies. You're also there's also one advantage which I would say: you get to meet you get to visit a lot of top-notch universities and see how do they do it. You get to meet with Nobel laureates. You get to meet with people who write books, who invent new machines. You get to meet new entrepreneurs. So I would like to cite an example for that. You see, when an entrepreneur starts a new journey, what's the first thing that he does? He builds a business model and a revenue model. It's as much a struggle for an entrepreneur as it is for a PhD student. Because for a PhD student, he needs to convince a professor. For an entrepreneur, he needs to convince an investor.
ইয়া
That's pretty much the same line of approach. Now, when he builds the company, he needs to see what other people are doing. For a PhD student, he needs to see what other people are doing in his line of research. So he needs to present himself better than them or more improved than them. Okay, and disadvantages. It's into academia. You need to read books. You need to, know a lot of stuff and everything that is going around you. You need to keep yourself informed and probably focus yourself more on something which is known as graduate literature writing. So you need to write stuff. You need to focus yourself more and prepare for examinations. So most people don't like it because, again, seeing into book, you know how it goes. So abar porashona from the beginning. So it's a little cumbersome, but I would say it's rewarding.
রাইট। আচ্ছা, তোমার এই যে ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং এর যে ব্রাঞ্চ,
Right.
তার সঙ্গে পিএইচডি
Right.
এর কোনো অসামঞ্জস্য তো নেই?
Definitely not. I have shifted from mechanical to
Yes.
mechanical. So okay, now this aspect needs some clarification. Good that you asked. So this aspect needs some clarifications. See, in US universities or in universities abroad, usually you can change your stream from mechanical to something which is more specialized. For example, astrophysics. For example, statistical mathematics, computational mathematics, because PhD doesn't really depend on the department.
Yeah.
It depends on what you are doing as a thesis and finding out the best from which is already the best.
Yeah.
So this transition particularly depends on what you have studied and what are your research goals. Now, it's not necessary that whatever you have done in your research will probably be the thesis report in your PhD. But what is important is the line of approach that you have taken, the kind of work that you have done and you have been doing. It's 90% confirmed that you will get your PhD degree or your PhD thesis and report from exactly that line. You might want to change in the middle of your stream, that doesn't matter. But usually, this transition is smooth so long as you are assured of your goals. You need to be assured of your goals. That's very important.
এবার একটা খুব অন্যরকম প্রশ্ন করবো, সেটা হচ্ছে তুমি তো বলেইছো তুমি যখন সেকেন্ড ইয়ার থার্ড ইয়ারে রয়েছো তখন থেকে প্রিপারেশন নিয়েছো,
Right.
দীর্ঘ একটা সময় তোমাকে বিদেশে থাকতে হবে,
Right.
হোম সিকনেস বা বাড়ির তোমার যারা বাবা মা রয়েছেন
Right.
তারা কিভাবে নিচ্ছেন ব্যাপারটাকে? প্রথমত তারা ভীষণ আনন্দিত যে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ থেকে তুমি সিলেক্ট হয়েছো ওখানে যাওয়ার জন্য, কিন্তু কোথাও একটা যেন কিছু থেকে যায়, সেটাকে ওভারকাম করলে কি করে? এটা একটু ডিফিকাল্ট উত্তর দেওয়া না?
I would say I would try to give a diplomatic. Why? Because see, because I am sure that I have to work.
Yes.
I was mentally prepared, and I made them mentally prepared. They were also prepared. They supported me a
হ্যাঁ,
lot.
তুমি এটাও হতে পারতো, তুমি এরপরে যদি এটা না করে কোনো একটা ভালো কোম্পানির হয়ে তুমি যে বাইরে চলে যেতে চাকরি করতে, তখনও সেটাই
The
একই
equation
ব্যাপার।
would have been the same
একই
actually,
ব্যাপার।
which have actually been the same. So I have some of my friends who are working abroad right after their bachelors. They are working and they have like, it's basically equation is same. You have to live abroad.
Yes.
You have to work for them, and you are living on your own exactly the way that you are doing.
So take it easy.
Take it easy. Like, it's okay because this is something which is rare, I would say. And to be very honest, most of the admits that Indian students get are for fall, which the session starts in September or October. This is the time in which the sessions begin. This time of the year, which is the spring, which is like the cold season of the United States, usually not many universities provide admits. So Wisconsin at Madison is a public Ivy League. Now I'm just giving you like what an Ivy League means. So Ivy League is 8 best universities in the US, which is probably the tycoon of the United States. Okay, so in order to combat these private universities, the United States government started a league of universities, which is called the Public Ivy League, which works at par with the private universities and provides exceptional research goals at the end. In fact, a lot of Nobel laureates come from these universities, and of course, other people are in other fields like Olympians and astronauts and academicians and a lot of other people. So these universities provide very restricted admits. For example, like probably 3-4 admits in the entire year. So once it was given to me, I was stoked. I was very happy, and I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity.
Really great job.
Yeah, it's thank you. I mean, it was one of a kind, and I didn't want to miss this one out. I had got offers from other countries, from my own country, but then this seemed a little bit ahead in the race, so I decided to go for it.
এবার ধরো যারা এখনো তোমার মতো অনেকে আছে যারা স্বপ্ন দেখছে,
Right.
তাদের জন্য তোমার কি মেসেজ আছে? তাদেরকে তুমি কিভাবে প্রিপারেশন নিতে বলবে?
Right. The goal isn't easy. Like I would certainly say that. See, I'm living in Durgapur for a lot of time, and I have seen people from other universities as well. I've seen the kind of research, the kind of facilities, architecture, and development, the kind of teaching that they provide. What I would personally suggest is if they can take a self-initiative right from your second year, when you are assured that, okay, this is my department, this is what I need to do, this is what my goals are, and this is probably what I can do within my limits. And every person has their own limits. I cannot say that a person I have worked for 7-8 hours. I cannot also say that a person who is preparing for this, hey, please study for 6-7 hours, otherwise you won't get it. No, it's not the thing. If you can provide results if you work for 3-4 hours diligently every day. But you need to be focused. You cannot deviate from your goal. You need to approach faculty. So there are 3-4 things which is like very generic and very, which is very cognitive, which should come from within. So the first thing being that you should approach professors from your own universities. That's something you should do. Reason being that they are the best advisors to your career goals. They have seen students who pass out from your university. They have interacted with professors from other universities, and they have ample experience to guide you along your research line, because they already know your academic credentials and how much you can provide output. Second thing being that, okay, I want to say this, that in India, the wet skills, which is like the experimental skills, are very less. we are more into theoretical stuff. We tend to focus more on theoretical examinations, and somewhere or the other down the line, the practical issues, the practical experience or the outreach remains lagged. সেটা একটা বড় disadvantage. In order to get that, you have to approach industrialists, you have to approach industries, other faculties from other universities, and I'm sure they will help you, because an academician always helps an academician. Even the people around you, the people who are involved in these kind of things, if you seek help from them, I think 9 out of 10 times they'll probably give you some advice which you can at least start implementing from your second or third year onwards. And then one very important aspect is to secure a summer internship somewhere relevant. It's very important. Why? Because in your university, you only see people who are your friends, you live with them, you talk with them, you study with them, you know what are their academic bottlenecks, you know how much exactly they can produce in some time. But when you move to other universities and you meet with people who are usually more mature and more advanced in the league, what happens is you get an understanding of how this world works in your particular line of research. এই যে ভাবনাটা, এই ভাবনা যতক্ষণ তোমার মধ্যে চলে আসবে, you get a confidence that okay, if I am being able to reach here, I can reach my goal ultimately. The third thing being that you should be involved in writing articles, papers, reading journals, blogs, etc. What it leads to do that, see, usually these kind of research, how do you know that this research is successful? When it gets accepted. Once it is accepted, once it gets the academic acceptance, you get to know that this thing works. Now, once you try to reload your research, once you try to approach your research from that line, reading books, reading articles, reading journal papers, what advantage you usually get is you know where you're going wrong. That's more important, to know where you're going wrong. And you can consult with your advisor, you can consult with people around you, your seniors, they are very helpful. And they can provide you expert advice on what you should do next. And of course, before these deadlines of universities ends, for many universities, you can approach faculties for PhD positions, for summer internship positions, for research positions. And most importantly, you should be aware of these deadlines. You should take these exams at least 3-4 months before the deadline, so that you are not in the death over of your applications, and then you manage your application somehow or the other, and then you mess up somewhere. That's a big disadvantage, because you should know that the people you're competing with are not Indians. They're Chinese, they're Russians, they're Hungarians, Japanese, Koreans, who are way ahead in the race. And we know that. We have seen Olympic stats. We have seen football stats. They're always ahead in the race. The biggest phone companies, mobile companies, car companies come from abroad. That's the issue. So, yeah.
তোমার মনে আছে বোধহয় যে এটা নিয়ে দ্বিতীয়বার তুমি ডিএসটিভি স্টুডিওতে এলে,
Right.
তুমি যখন ক্লাস 11-এ তখন একবার এসেছিলে একটা খুব সুন্দর কীর্তিমান নিয়ে,
Right.
আবারও তুমি সেটা করেছো। গানটা কেমন চলছে পাশাপাশি?
I'm practicing.
আচ্ছা,
Trying to practice some time in this schedule. So yeah, I'm in practice.
গুড। তাহলে আমরা আজকের অনুষ্ঠানটা শেষ করব তোমার গানের মধ্যে দিয়ে।
All right. So because most of my part was in English, I would like to sing a Hindi song, if that's okay. Okay, let's sing. ऐसा लगा मुझे पहली दफा, तन्हा मैं हो गया यारा, हूँ परेशान सा मैं अभी कहने के लिए, तू जरूरी सा है मुझको जिंदा रहने के लिए, वो तू जरूरी सा है मुझको जिंदा रहने के लिए, धड़के आंखों में दिल मेरा जब करीब आऊं तेरे, देखूं मैं जब भी आईना, तू ही रूबरू रहे मेरे, इश्क की मौज में आजा बहने के लिए, तू जरूरी सा है मुझको जिंदा रहने के लिए, मांगो ना कोई आसमां दो सितारों का जहां बन जा तू मेरा हम सफर ना मुझे चाहिए कोई मुकाम दिल ही काफी है तेरा मेरे रहने के लिए तू जरूरी सा है मुझको जिंदा रहने के लिए
বাহ, অপূর্ব, অসাধারণ। পড়াশোনার পাশাপাশি এই চর্চাটা রেখে যেও, এই চর্চাটা একদম।
I'll try my best.
আমরা আজকের অনুষ্ঠানের একেবারে শেষ পর্বে এসে পৌঁছে গেছি। আমরা কথা বলছিলাম দেবব্রতর সঙ্গে, দেবব্রত আঢ্য। উইসকনসিন ম্যাডিসন ইউনিভার্সিটিতে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ থেকে একমাত্র সে নির্বাচিত হয়েছে ফুল স্কলারশিপ নিয়ে পিএইচডি করতে যাওয়ার জন্য। ডিএসটিভির পক্ষ থেকে অজস্র অজস্র অভিনন্দন, শুভেচ্ছা। আবারও যেন তুমি ডিএসটিভিতে আসতে পারো, আবার একটা এই ধরনের সুন্দর অনুষ্ঠানে তোমাকে আমরা পেতে পারি, সেই আশা জানিয়ে এবং শুভেচ্ছা জানিয়ে, এবং আপনাদের সকলকে যারা এতক্ষণ আমাদের অনুষ্ঠান দেখলেন তাদেরকে ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে আজকের অনুষ্ঠান এখানেই শেষ করছি। ধন্যবাদ।